Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Para Que Hablar podcast. We are your host, Yuli,
And Yasmin Para.
and today we're going to be talking about a hotel with a lot of history. Yasmin, do you believe something like a hotel can be cursed?
Yes, I definitely do believe that it's possible for a hotel or actually any old historic building that's been for a long time can be cursed. I feel like if enough has happened in it, it definitely can lead to it being cursed or, worse.
Well, today I'm going to be giving you some background information on the infamous Cecil Hotel, a hotel people think is cursed with death. This Cecil Hotel opened in downtown Los Angeles in 1924. That means that this year makes a whole century of this hotel being open. That's 100 years. Like, literally, this year is 100 years since the Cecil Hotel opened. So it's kind of like an anniversary episode. um, but it was originally supposed to be a high end hotel for business travelers, but due to the Great Depression became a cheaper, low-end hotel. The first recorded death in the hotel took place only 2 years after it opened. A 52-year-old man committed suicide in his own room. Later in the 1960s, a retired resident was discovered dead in her room. She had been raped and stabbed to death. The Cecil Hotel is also widely known for the serial killers that have stayed there. Richard Ramirez, also known as the Night Stalker, had more than 12 victims, and it is possible he committed some of those murders during his stay at the Cecil. He was later captured and died in 2013 of cancer in jail. Austrian serial killer Jack Unterweger was also captured after his stay at the Cecil. He had murdered 3 women and after his arrest hung himself. Manager Amy Price, in an interview, stated during the 10 years she worked as a manager at this hotel, there had been over 80 deaths. In 2013, the Elisa Lam case made national headlines and had people creating theories as to what actually led to her death. Yasmin, what can you tell us about the Elisa Lam case?
Well, today's case takes place at a Los Angeles hotel with a long and lurid history called the Cecil Hotel. Elisa Lam was a 21-year-old tourist whose 2013 disappearance and death at the Cecil Hotel received widespread attention. Her death was ruled accidental, but there are still unanswered questions about what happened to her. In 2013, Elisa Lam, a tourist from Vancouver, British Columbia, disappeared while staying at the Cecil Hotel. She was last seen on January 31st, 2013. As part of the police investigation, a video was released that showed Lam behaving erratically in a hotel elevator. This footage became a viral sensation, and on February 19, 2013, Lam's body was found inside a water tank on the roof of the hotel. Her death was later determined to be an accidental drowning, though the exact circumstances that led to this remain unclear. On January 26, 2013, Lam checked into the Cecil Hotel, also known as Stay on Main, which is located downtown Los Angeles near Skid Row. And for those who don't know what Skid Row is basically like this part of Los Angeles that's basically like kind of the home. It's like really dangerous and it's home to a lot of those who don't have homes, so like the homeless. And it's just known to be very dangerous and it's like almost abandoned, like it's an abandoned place. Like piece of Los Angeles basically. So for those who don't know what Skid Row is, it's just known to be like a dangerous place down in Los Angeles. So earlier in her stay, she was relocated from a shared room to a private one due to odd behavior. Her parents, David and Yina Lam, who'd been in daily contact with their daughter, quickly reported her missing. Lam's belongings, including a wallet, ID, and laptop, had been left in her room. A Los Angeles police bulletin about Lam's disappearance mentioned that she spoke English and Cantonese, used public transportation, possibly had mild depression, and was ultimately headed to Santa Cruz, California. The police issued an appeal for assistance from the public and released a video that showed Lam wearing a red hoodie inside of an elevator at the hotel. In the footage, she presses numerous buttons, looks out of the elevator, moves back into a corner, steps outside of the elevator, and waves her hands. The video went viral and sparked widespread interest and speculation about the case. One theory arose that Lam was playing what is sometimes called the Korean elevator game, in which pressing elevator buttons in a specific pattern will supposedly open a portal to another dimension. While Lam was still missing, guests at the hotel began to complain about low water pressure. On February 19, a maintenance worker peered into one of the 4 foot by 8 foot water tanks on the roof of the hotel and spotted a dead body that turned out to be Lam. The worker later said in court documents, "I noticed the hatch to the main water tank was open and looked inside and saw an Asian woman lying face up in the water approximately 12 inches from the top of the tank." The roof had previously been searched with the assistance of a police dog, however, no one checked inside the water tanks. The investigation into Lamb's death continued following the discovery of her body. Entry to the roof was supposed to be restricted to hotel employees. An interior staircase to the roof had a locked door equipped with an alarm, said to be working, that should have alerted staff if it had been opened. Following further inquiry, an autopsy and toxicology tests, the coroner issued a ruling that Lam had accidentally drowned. There were no indications of physical trauma on her body, and no drugs that might have contributed to her death were found in her system. The coroner's report mentioned Lamb's bipolar disorder as a significant condition that played a role in her death due to a negligence lawsuit against the hotel filed by Lamb's parents, which was then dismissed in 2015. The lead investigator suggested she got into the tank on her own as there were no DNA or fingerprints left and her disorder. The Cecil Hotel, which had rebranded itself as Stay on Main prior to Lamb's stay, had a macabre history that may have contributed to speculation about Lamb's death. The hotel has been the scene of multiple murders and suicides, dating nearly as far back as its first days of operation in 1927. Lamb's story has provided inspiration for movie screenplays, as well as an episode of the television show Castle and the series American Horror Story Hotel, as well as a 4-part documentary detailing Lamb's mysterious death, crime scene, the vanishing at the Cecil Hotel. But the question still remains: what happened to Elisa Lam in the day of her disappearance and the days leading up to it? So, what do you think about this entire case, Celie?
I know I've heard a couple of theories of people saying that she was like schizophrenic and that she might have been having like hallucinations, and that's probably why she was like acting really weird and like waving her arms in the air and all that stuff like in the elevator,
Mm-hmm.
and that's probably also why she ended up like going to the rooftop and going in the water tank,
Yeah,
and
because
that she took her clothes off because she was actually naked when she was found in the water tank, correct?
yes, she was naked and her clothes was just floating in the water.
Wow. Yeah, so then someone like I remember someone saying that they think that she took off her clothes because she couldn't swim or something like that so that she wouldn't sink to the bottom. But I mean that's like one of the theories that I've heard. But if you ever watch the video, like the video is really weird how she is like looking outside of the elevator and then looking back in and then pressing like all the buttons, 'cause she was pressing like all the buttons. Like everything she was doing was really weird. And then
Mm-hmm.
also I think even in the video of her being in the elevator, didn't even have her glasses on.
Mm-hmm.
So people were like saying maybe she was looking for her glasses and stuff.
But I feel like if she was looking for her glasses, she would have not been waving her arms out of the elevator. So
Yeah,
I
and
feel
then
like it doesn't line up, or like it's just kind of unexplainable in all of a sense.
yeah, and then also what I don't understand is I mean, I don't know what a schizophrenic episode is like or anything like that, but is she not able to ask for help? Like, say, like, to tell someone, like, I have schizophrenia, like, I need help or something like that, or something of the sort.
Yeah, I kind of question that too because, well, I mean, she did have a bipolar disorder and she had a lot of social anxiety.
And then
From
she was like traveling by herself, even though she had these conditions.
Yeah, but she was taking medication, and people think that like maybe she didn't take her medication and her schizophrenia did get to her and stuff. But I feel like it's also really weird about how literally no one was just around her like at all, like when she was in the elevator and stuff like that, leading up to her even getting on the roof.
Yeah, I
Which
think that's
I feel like is
another.
really weird because if they really had an alarm and stuff like that and it was working, I find it really weird how it even led to her getting up on the roof because they were saying that the like the top of the tank that she got in is like really heavy for just one person
To
to
open, right?
open. Yeah. So I find it just really weird how all of that happened, especially for her cuz she looked really like
Like a tiny,
small.
yeah,
Yeah.
skinny girl.
Yeah, exactly. So I just find it weird how she even could have gotten herself into that tank,
And
you
then
know?
also like how long it took for them to find her body.
Yeah, because the fact that they like searched the roof and they didn't even check the tank or anything, like, wouldn't the dog have
And then also the
smelled?
hatch was closed again. Like it's not like it was open. It was slightly open, right?
So it kind of makes you think, like, was she put in the tank after they had searched the roof?
True. I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, because like I just find it weird how the dogs didn't smell her because they searched the roof with the dogs.
Wow.
So it's kind of like, yeah, like it's just really weird. It's unexplainable, like how a dog couldn't smell that she was like in the water tank or anything.
And then also, like, it's weird that during the whole stay that she was there, she was acting like really in weird, like having weird mannerisms because, just like you said, they ended up having to switch her to a private room because she was acting weird with
Hmm.
the shared room that she was in. Like,
Yeah, because I remember people around her were saying that she was acting weird, and that's why they just moved her into a different room, which is why I actually asked, like, do you think that it could have been something that was days before leading up to her death?
I mean, honestly, it sounds like something was definitely wrong before that
Yeah.
day, before that day of her death, because if I'm not mistaken, wasn't she actually supposed to leave that last day, that where she ended up, being recorded on the elevator? That was like supposed to be her last day there, and she was
Mm-hmm.
supposed to leave after that.
Yeah.
So, like the
Which is
timing
crazy.
of
Like,
it,
yeah, it's just crazy, like, the way that things can change. Because if she would have left that day, obviously none of that would have ever happened. Or even
yeah.
the day before. Which I don't know, because I was thinking, like, I came up with my own little theory. And since so many things have happened in that hotel, I feel like maybe she could have, like, seen something. And, like, since obviously she's aware that she has schizophrenia, I feel like she could have just gotten scared. Cause I don't know, like I feel like since so many things have happened in that hotel, I feel like it's definitely not impossible for her to have seen like something, something like a ghost or something. And that's why she was so scared. But I feel like it doesn't explain why she was waving her hands outside of the elevator.
Yeah,
And
and
like,
why she was pressing all the buttons.
well, I feel like if you were like panicked, I feel like I would have probably like pressed all the buttons too. But no, probably not actually, never mind. I would have probably just pressed like continuously one button. And I also find it really weird how the elevator, like if you guys see the footage online, I'm sure it's on YouTube. Um
Oh
it's really weird
yeah,
how the elevator doors never closed even though she
literally
was pressing
until
all
she
those
literally
buttons.
left.
Yeah, until she left.
It literally closed until she left. It's almost like something out of a movie or something. Like,
Yeah, like I just feel like that's something so weird cuz like you would think that because you're pressing so many buttons, like obviously the doors would shut and it would take you to a different floor. But it's just
yeah.
weird how the door decided to shut after she left and it never shut when she was in the elevator in the corner or nothing.
And it's so weird how the only footage is that of her in the elevator. Like, there's no footage of her in the hallways or anything like that that we can like see more maybe up close. Some like if something is going on with her.
And you'd think that a hotel so close to Skid Row would have more cameras inside of it or anything.
True,
Or like
actually.
cameras even, well, I don't know. Because I'm sure they didn't put cameras on the roof because obviously guests and stuff like that aren't allowed on the roof.
And then also, why do you think that she picked this hotel out of all the hotels she could have picked? Why do you think she picked this one? Because I mean, I feel like anyone that stays at the Cecil Hotel has to know its history. Like, I highly doubt that anyone that stays there doesn't know any of the history that the Cecil Hotel has.
I mean, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty well, she was a tourist, so I think she would have to have definitely known the hotel. Because, like, even looking it up,
Exactly. So that makes it even more crazy. Like she was on medication. She knew she was going to this hotel, and then like why wasn't she actually like taking more preventative measures or like someone going with her and stuff like that?
I mean,
At
um,
least,
she
someone
was a
going with
college
her.
student, though, right? Yeah, I think she was a
I
college
believe she
student.
was. Yeah, she was.
Yeah, and she came from,
Canada.
yeah, she came
She
from
was from
Canada.
Canada.
So she could have also not, known what she was getting into, or she could have been on a budget. You never know, because I'm sure that hotel is really
True.
cheap based on everything that's gone on in there.
That's true, I guess.
Yeah. Or maybe like she had to go somewhere nearby and that was the closest hotel.
I mean, it was never really specified if like she knew that this hotel had any history behind it or anything like that. But I mean, my guess is she did.
Yeah, because personally, if I knew all the history, like if I was planning on staying somewhere and I saw all the history that went on, the deaths, the suicides, and everything, I would not want to stay at a hotel like that.
Yeah, and then let's talk about how literally the residents started like to complain about the water, and that's how they found her body.
Yeah, because they were also complaining about like the redness color of the water.
And then like weird taste, smell,
Oh
like
my gosh, imagine if you were to have drinking like literally water with like
with
a
a
person who is dead in it.
yeah. Isn't that a health hazard, dude?
Yeah, I'm definitely sure that it's definitely a health hazard because why wouldn't it be a health hazard to drink water like of a dead body?
Yeah, how long was the dead body in there before they discovered it?
Approximately like 19 days.
Wow, and then also doesn't water like break down your body molecules
Yeah, it
faster
like
somehow?
decomposes it
Yeah, because you're
faster.
literally, yeah. Whenever, oh my gosh,
Like even whenever
that's
you're in water for a long time, your skin gets all wrinkled up and
yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Imagine being in, oh, that's so great. And like the people who showered with that water and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you shower, you turn on the bottom, right? Like to turn on the shower head and stuff. So if the water really was like tinted pink or tinted red, wouldn't like I wouldn't shower with that. I would have
Well,
complained right away. I would
I'm
have
pretty
been.
sure I'm pretty sure some people complained, but it kept getting worse and worse. Because if you think about it, 19 days is a lot.
I'm sure if I was the owner of
And
the
I'm pretty
hotel
sure
and
the red
stuff,
water wasn't popping up like after the first day. That must have been after. And actually, if you think about it, the red water was probably her blood.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's
Or her,
terrible.
cause she had a red hoodie on,
Oh
so it could have
yeah,
been
the
from her
dye from
hoodie.
her clothes.
Yeah, from it being in there for so long. And is that water cold? Like the water in the tanks, is it cold or hot?
I don't know. I was about to say, I think, doesn't the water also get heated? But that would be water heater, not water tank.
Mm.
I think that water
But
tank doesn't get heated. But
they
if
had
you think
four
about it,
different
even if it's
tanks.
just in the sun, and since it's on the rooftop, it has to be in the sun.
True.
So sun plus her being in the water.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that water, the tank itself has to be really hot,
Yeah. Because
depending
it's
on
literally
like,
on the rooftop of the
oh
hotel.
my, and then in water, that makes it 10 times worse.
Yeah. I don't
I
even
don't even want to know how he found her, like how she looked like, because I know he said that obviously she was floating face up. Oh my god. That sounds so
yeah,
scary to
that's
even say.
I would be
Imagine how
scarred
he
for
found her.
life. I would be
Yeah.
scarred. And then like imagine her family too, how they felt once they found out that her daughter, their daughter had been in this tank for 19 days and they couldn't find her.
If
I
I'm
feel
not
bad for
wrong,
her family.
if I'm not wrong, I believe her parents were actually gonna fly down to find her. Like not to find her, but to come and search for her as well. Because I feel
Wow.
like the whole case is really. I feel like there's just something really odd about the entire case.
There
Like
is. It's
from
almost
how
like
she
there's
even
something
lifted
missing.
it.
It's like there's something missing here.
Yeah, I just feel like it doesn't piece up. Like it doesn't explain how she got up on the roof, getting through the alarm. Like I don't understand how she could have gone through all those
The elevator
cameras.
doors, it's almost like whenever like I remember seeing the video and seeing like the elevator doors not shut and stuff like that until she left, it's almost as if it was like the hotel was leading her up to the rooftop, like the actual hotel. Like
Or
it's
bad
creepy.
entities.
Well, whatever it
I
was
definitely believe, like, my theory, something that I believe in, it's definitely that. I feel like you were saying earlier about, if a place could be cursed, I definitely think that that hotel is most definitely cursed. But, like, based on everything that's happened in there, like, all the killings, the suicides, all that happening in that hotel, 80 deaths, just simply with that manager. I'm
within
surprised she
10
didn't quit on the
years.
10th death. On the 5th death, honey, I don't know how to
Girl,
be
on the
there.
second death, I would have been gone.
Yeah, quite literally. I don't know how she was there to see 80 deaths. Like, that makes you question
Yeah.
for her time
I would
being
be
there.
scared for my own life.
Yeah, for her time being there, she saw 80 deaths.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. But you know what I also find interesting about the Cecil Hotel is the fact that it has so much death and stuff like that and so much like bad vibes behind it. But from what I've been able to like see on the internet, what I've researched, like even on like on Reddit and stuff, like people saying that they've stayed at the hotel, like barely anyone says like that there's paranormal activity there. Everyone says that there's not paranormal activity there. Like that there's no ghosts or anything like that. There's no noises, there's no weird paranormal activity, but that there is a lot of death. So, it's
But
weird.
I feel like if okay, because like how certain like I guess entities target certain people because they could be going through a moment or something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like also maybe that's why the people who stay there on like for a purpose to see if something's happening, nothing happens to them. Like I
Well,
feel like it's the people who just go there. Like for example, like Elisa Lam, she had schizophrenia. She was really like I guess she could have been targeted. You know what I mean?
I guess you're right. So you're saying like if you're vulnerable, you might be targeted in the hotel?
Yeah, yeah. Like I
Versus
feel
like
like if you're
going
going,
in there to look for like paranormal stuff.
yeah, because she was also, I think she had depression.
Oh man.
Yeah, she had depression. So, like, she was really like, vulnerable. She was really fragile.
Yeah, I don't think it was a good idea for her to go to this hotel at all.
Yeah, for her to even travel alone. But a matter of fact,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
she was 21. I mean,
She was
she's.
young.
Mhm.
Yeah, she should never have been alone. Especially now that you say that she had depression, schizophrenia, she had bipolar disorder. Like she
She
really
was
should have.
taking medication. I feel like anybody who takes medication should be like really watched, either one, or not be alone.
But correct me if I'm wrong. I remember something about her parents saying that when they had called her like before that elevator video and stuff like that that she was fine. That the last time they had spoken to her she was fine.
Yeah, I think they
So if
said
she
that.
was off, if the theory about her being off her medications the whole time she was there, it was true, wouldn't that mean that when she was on the phone talking to her parents, she would have acted different and they would have known like she's having an episode or something?
Yeah, because like even the fact that she was moved out of her room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, because they said that they were on contact with her daily, like constantly.
Yeah, and then she stopped answering, right?
Hmm. And
So
I'm
see,
really surprised at the quickness of her parents,
yeah.
because they reported her missing. Like I'm pretty sure the next day, like after like she
Yeah,
wasn't
because just
answering.
like, yeah, because they had
Me, I would
reason.
have
They had
I
been in
would have
contact.
thought that she was probably just busy or fell asleep or something.
Yeah, I would have waited like 3 days.
Yeah, I would have waited. Like I would have called the hotel maybe on the second day, but not reported her missing.
Wait, but do you think her parents knew that she was gonna stay at this hotel and like the history behind the hotel?
I'm sure they did. If they were definitely checking on her, like they were probably asking her what hotel, what she was doing, and stuff
Yeah,
like
but
that.
do you think they knew the history behind the Cecil Hotel? If I knew my daughter was going to this hotel, I would not let her
Possibly not,
go
because if
by
they were in
herself.
Canada,
Yeah, I don't think they
I
knew.
think they were probably
I
just
don't think
thinking
her
that she was
parents
staying
knew.
at any random hotel. But even
Yeah.
then, I would want to know what hotel she's staying at.
Yeah, because we're talking downtown LA. Anywhere LA is
But she was also
dangerous.
21, so like you being 21, you would think that you're capable of researching stuff on your own and stuff like that, and
And
like
being
taking
safe.
care of yourself. Maybe that's why they also let her go by herself, because they know that she would never like not take her medication and stuff like that, because she knows obviously that she has schizophrenia, so she knows to take her medication.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's not like they're gonna send someone with her being 21 with her, everywhere. So I guess I would understand why she went by herself. But at the same time, like I just feel like the setting, like the place where she was staying at, definitely just it's not good
I
for
remember
someone
when
like that, at least.
Yeah, I remember when all of this was going down in the news and stuff like that. And when, like, literally in that year, in 2013, when it happened, like, I remember everyone talking about it and it being, like, so creepy and so weird, and no one could, like, pull the pieces together as to what happened. But I feel like now a lot of theories have surfaced because there's been, like, years have gone by. People are, like, thinking that maybe it was, like, the medications and stuff like that, and it was her, um, her mental disorders. So,
Yeah, but I feel like we could be talking about her and how she was like how her schizophrenia and her bipolar disorder and stuff like that. But I feel like at the end of the day, that still doesn't explain to me. And like, that's what keeps me like really intrigued about this case and really interested about it. Because I remember when I first saw this case, I was like, well, why didn't the elevator doors close? Because I feel like that's something that. That's just weird to me. Like, yeah, we could talk about how she had her bipolar disorder and how maybe she didn't take her medication, but I feel like it still doesn't explain why the elevator doors did not
well, what if
close.
the elevator doors didn't close because it was, like, starting to malfunction because she was pressing all the buttons?
Yeah, but it's still shut afterwards.
Yeah, but what if it was, like, starting to malfunction and then it recalculated or
Yeah,
something?
because at first I was thinking maybe it's because she didn't give the doors,
And then
time to
also she kept
close.
going in and out of the doors.
Yeah, that's what I was.
So,
Yeah, that's what I was trying to work out right now, because like she kept
wait, but
peeking her head
elevator
out.
doors shut even if you're standing there, it will still start to shut until they can sense, like, a hand or something, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. They shut really
So,
quick. They tend to shut really quick.
yeah,
Like
you're
it takes like
right.
maybe 2 seconds. And she was standing in the corner for like 5 seconds. And then she went out. So I feel like that was still a little too long for the elevator doors not to close, because if I'm not wrong, I believe that whenever she left, it literally took like 3 seconds for the elevator doors to close right after she
I
left.
wonder if there has been anyone on the internet. I'm curious to see if, like, I'm gonna search this up afterwards to see if there's anyone who has, like, stayed at the Cecil Hotel and tried to do, like, press the buttons exactly like she did.
That's what I
Like,
was about to say.
yes, to see how long it takes for the doors to close. Like, if the same thing happens with the doors where they won't close, or like it would be a good
Like to
experiment to try.
reenact it.
Yeah, reenact,
Hmm.
like, the button pressing and all that.
Yeah, like I
That
feel
would be
like,
a really good experiment.
yeah, oh my gosh, we should be the first. Yeah, we're gonna make a podcast
Would you
next.
ever stay at the Cecil Hotel?
I don't know, honestly. Like willingly, no. Well, actually, I don't know. Like if maybe we were doing an investigation, like for a purpose to go there, like seeing what would happen, or like for example, like reenacting what Elisa Lam
Mm-hmm.
did, I feel like I would go just for that. But like to stay there, sleep the night, no. I would buy a hotel and just like
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't think I
investigate.
would stay there. Like, if I was just like you said, like, if I was curious to go see it, I'd probably just go see it during the day, and I would stay at a whole another hotel. I would, like, just see it during the day, walk the hallways and stuff like that, but
Hmm.
not actually stay there overnight. No, like that,
Yeah.
just it just not no.
Plus, it's in such a dangerous part of town. Like it's really close to Skid Row, and I feel like any place near Skid Row is just not good at all, because obviously the people from Skid Row go like near those places.
Well, let me tell you why I'm asking this question about you, like, if you would stay at this hotel or not, because it turns out that a lot of people agree with you. In 2015, the hotel closed down for renovations and reopened in 2021 with a mission to house the homeless. Like, I guess all the people that you were talking about in Skid Row.
Hmm.
But after years of low tenants, like people refusing to stay there, in March of this year, 2024, which remember marks its 100th year since being originally opened, has now been put up for sale. The Cecil Hotel has been put up for sale in March of this year. Can you believe that? It has no listing price currently, but it is believed to be valued at $200,000 per room. Keep in mind, this hotel has 600 units, so that is quite pricey. But can you believe that it has literally been put up for sale?
No, I would have never. Who would try to sell a hotel with so many
Well, it
deaths?
turns out that it was a bad investment for the investors that decided to make this into a like housing the homeless project. It turns out that it's been a bad investment because no one wants to stay there. So,
But like, do people ask them why?
not that I know of. I'm just assuming that with the history that it has, no one's really interested in actually living there because it's housing. It's like literally living there. It's not staying there overnight. It's literally like,
Apartment.
yeah, uh-huh. Yeah. So I'm assuming people don't aren't really into staying there with all the history that it has behind it, and it just turned out to be a bad investment. They've lost money and they're just trying to recoup what they've lost, and now it's for sale. So, because I mean, it's really just sitting there. No one's
So,
living in it, so it's just sitting there.
so did they renovate it? So they're not like they're not selling out rooms anymore, or they are continuing to.
Selling out? What do you mean selling out?
Like, like for people to live there or for people to stay there.
As far as I know, I believe it's still open and stuff like that for people to stay like the homeless, but it is for sale. Like they're just basically waiting for someone to buy it out. And whoever buys it out will do whatever they want with it, like renovate it again or do something else with it or come up with a new idea. I don't know what they're thinking, but yeah, it this hotel is just continuously changing routes from high end to low end hotel to housing the homeless to, I believe at one point someone wanted to make it like some type of casino or something like that. It just has been, it's been having multiple projects within it.
Well, that's crazy. I never would have thought that. Did they end up waiting like renovating the rooms, or did they keep the rooms the
Yeah,
same?
the hotel when it went under renovation in 2015 and it opened up in 2021, it took 6 years to renovate all those 600 rooms for the housing the homeless project that I just spoke about.
Dang, that was
And it was
a
literally
lot
for
of money.
nothing because like I said, like out of 600 units that this hotel had, they only were able to fill up 73.
73 units?
Yes, that's less than a sixth of the hotel being, you know, in use. So, like honestly, I don't even know what the future holds for this hotel. I would just I don't know why they don't just take it down.
I feel
It's
like it's also
scary.
because it holds like
A lot of history.
yeah, it holds a lot of history from deaths to like obviously the Night Stalker staying
Well, I
there,
wonder who's gonna buy this
Elisa's
hotel.
body. Yeah, I don't know. That's really odd. I don't know why they would even think it's a good idea to even begin to sell, and I don't know why they thought it was a good idea for them to buy it out.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a bad. Maybe if it was not located near Skid Row, it'd have a lot more potential. But I feel like because it's located in like near such a dangerous part of town, I feel like it's just a waste of money.
yeah,
And clearly, it's been proven to be such a waste of money. Plus, I just feel like everything that's happened there, I feel like it wasn't a good investment since the beginning.
yeah, and like I said, it's just continuing to take different routes. Some owners do one thing with it, and then the other owners do another thing, and then it just continues to be getting passed down from owner to owner. Because literally, it's had multiple owners since it was first opened. Now, so it's been 100 years, and I don't even know how many owners have owned this place.
Mm, I would not want to be the owner.
I know,
I
literally,
wouldn't want to
dude.
like decide what the future of the hotel that I own.
Yeah, and if you think
That's
about it, it's brought like bad luck. It's like bad luck that it has. Like just like I said, for these investors, they lost their money.
mm-hmm.
So it has just been like a string of bad events with this hotel. Like I would not want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Not investing wise, not living wise. That's just me personally though.
hmm And like another question that I actually just thought about right now is the tank that Elisa Lamb was found in. Was it switched out?
What do you mean, was it switched out?
Yeah, like when they took her body out of the tank, did they clean the tank and keep the tank, or did they switch the tank out?
I believe that they cleaned the tank. I don't think you can switch a whole, like that water tank that she was in is huge, Jasmine. I don't think they can switch something like that.
I would
If
switch
anything,
it.
they probably flushed it and stuff like that, cleaned it as best as they could, and then obviously carried on. So
But that's just so like I couldn't imagine even like still continuing to shower with the water. Like I don't know. I just like knowing a body is like was in that tank and stuff like that. I just couldn't.
yeah,
I would switch that. I would find a way.
yeah, we really recommend you guys watch the video of her in the elevator and stuff like that, and then you guys can kind of take what you will from that video and make up your minds as to like what theory you want to go with. But that's going to be it for this video. We'll see you guys in the next podcast. Remember to follow us on Instagram at Parra Podcasts. Bye,
Bye.
guys.